Whenever we talk about the male reproductive system, we're referring to the spermatogenesis. In this video, I'm going to tell you what is spermatogenesis, what are its stages, and what is the difference between oogenesis and spermatogenesis. Hey everyone, welcome back to HM Learnings. I'm Harshita, the creator of HM Learnings, where students come to clear their concept and to get the study material. Make sure that you have subscribed my channel. You can also follow HM Learnings on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter for daily updates. We have also started uploading all our content on SlideShare. You can easily download and clip our slides from that website. I will also share the link of this video slides in the description box. So you just need to click on the link and you will be on the SlideShare. So with this, we can start our today's video, that is about the process of spermatogenesis. So we know that it is a process of the formation of sperm, or it is also called as a spermatozoa. And in this video, we are particularly looking that what are the different steps which are involved in the spermatogenesis and how the spermatogenesis is different from the oogenesis. So these are the two aspects we are going to cover, and what is the hormonal regulation of spermatogenesis we are going to cover in the upcoming video. So you need to remember that the spermatogenesis actually has two more processes. It is a sum of two processes, that is the spermatocytogenesis and the spermiogenesis. So the definitions will become definitely clear to you once you understood the process of spermatogenesis. So for that I will make a diagram, you can say basically not a diagram but the list of the steps of the steps of the spermatogenesis, which will help you to understand the entire process. So what happens that during the embryonic period, or you can say when during the gestation period, at the 4th week of the gestation, the primordial germ cells which are there in the yolk sac of the embryo, they will migrate and they will reach the gonadal ridge. And these are the primordial germ cells, and once they reach the you would say the gonadal ridge, they will be get differentiated. Okay, they will be get differentiated to form the spermatogonium. Okay, so gonium is the singular word and gonia is the plural word. So we are making only one, so I am writing the spermatogonium. So if you need to understood, or you need to remember one thing more, that spermatogonia are basically of two types, type A and type B. Okay, so I will tell you the difference. Okay, so here it is type A. Okay, so now this process, the differentiation of the primordial germ cell into the type A spermatogonia, will occur during the gestation, and now this step will be stopped here only. Okay, so there will be no further meiotic differentiation or meiotic proliferation, and this will be again started once the individual attains the puberty. So at the time of the puberty, what happens that this type A spermatogonia, it will undergo the meiotic division to form the further types of the, you can say, to form further number of the spermatogonium. So here you need to remember that the cell here is what? The cell here is diploid. Diploid means what? That in the case of the human, it has 46 chromosomes, 2 pairs of chromosomes, that is 23 pairs of the chromosomes, N is here 23, and the DNA content we can write it as 1C. Okay, so when the cell decides to undergo the process of the mitosis or any cell division, what will happen? The DNA content during the S phase will be get doubled. Okay, so if I draw the cell cycle here, you remember that it has phases like G1, it has phase, then the S phase, then it has the G2 phase, and then it has the M phase, which is the division phase. Now, this M phase could be the meiotic phase or the mitotic phase. During this S phase, the DNA content doubles. So here what happens, that type A has entered the cell cycle, it has entered the S phase, and the DNA content will be get here doubled. So here will be the 2C DNA, but the number of the chromosome, it's still the same. Okay, the DNA content is doubled, but the number of the chromosome, it's still the same. Now what will happen after this, it will enter into the M phase, that is the mitotic phase. It will has the phases like prophase, then the metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and then there will be a karyokinesis and cytokinesis lead to the formation of the two daughter cells. Okay, so there will be a two daughter cells. So one daughter cell is called as type A and another is called as type B. Okay, talking about their genetic material, they will have 1C DNA and the chromosome number is the same because it is the mitotic division or the meiotic division. So the number of the chromosome will remain the same. Now the type B spermatogonium will continue the process of the spermatogenesis. Okay, it will undergo the process of the spermatogenesis, but that type A will, you can say, it will again enter this cycle to form the type A and the type B. So basically it is ensuring that there must be a reserve for the type A spermatogonium so that there should be no lack of the germ cell. Now what happens, that this type B spermatogonia will undergo again many meiotic divisions. Okay, and after that this type B spermatogonium will start the meiosis. Okay, so we know that the formation of the germ cells, it involves what? It involves the formation of, it involves the meiotic division. So meiotic division has meiotic division 1 and meiotic division 2. So it will enter the meiotic division 1. So here the content is 1C DNA and 2N chromosome. Okay, so now what happens, that it will enter again which phase? S phase, before entering into the meiotic phase. So what happens during the S phase, the DNA content will here again get doubled. Not again, but it gets doubled. Okay, so now it has 2C DNA and 2N chromosome. Okay, so this is now called as a primary spermatocyte. The DNA content has doubled. Okay, and it is called as what? The primary spermatocyte. Now this primary spermatocyte will complete the further meiotic division. You can say it will enter the meiotic division 1 to form the two secondary spermatocytes. Okay, these are called secondary spermatocyte. Okay, so here what will happen, the DNA content will be 1C DNA and the chromosome number will be 2N chromosome. The chromosome number is still the same. Okay, and this was the, you can say, meiosis 1. Now this secondary spermatocyte will enter into the process of, you can say what, in the process of second meiosis. Okay, so now in the process of second meiosis, what will happen, it will form spermatids. Okay, now there will be a formation of spermatids. Okay, and now the spermatids will have 1C DNA and 1N chromosome. So this is a cell which has the one set of chromosome and is called as a haploid. Understood? Yes. So this is the spermatogenesis, not a complete spermatogenesis, After this, what will happen? The spermatids, they will be get transformed into a sperm. Okay, into a spermatozoa. The sperm is not in this shape. Okay, sperm has head, sperm has body, and it has a tail. So the process of the transformation of a spermatid into a spermatozoa, which is a characteristic sperm which has a head, body, and the tail, is called as the spermiogenesis. Okay, so now we can refer to this diagram. Okay, this is a diagram which I made in the previous slide here. Okay, and now we can again revise this. Okay, so the primordial germ cell, they migrate, they enter the gonads, they will be get differentiated to form the type A spermatogonium. They will be undergo mitosis to form type A and type B. Type A will be renew the stock of the type A spermatogonia, and type B will enter the process of the spermatogenesis. It will undergo the further mitosis, and then it will enter the process of the meiosis, forming first the primary spermatocytes and the secondary spermatocytes, and then the secondary spermatocyte will enter the meiosis 2 to form the spermatids. Understood? Now this spermatids will undergo the process of spermiogenesis, that is the conversion of spermatids into the spermatozoa. That is these type of the cells which has head, body, and the tail. So with this you can say that the spermatogenesis. Okay, so here I can mark the two processes which comprises the spermatogenesis. Okay, so from here you can say to here, this is the spermatocytogenesis. Okay, from the type B spermatogonium to the spermatids, and from spermatids to spermatozoa, this is called as the spermiogenesis, and this together will called as the spermatogenesis. Okay, so the definitions in the previous slides, I hope they will become clear to you. You can read, and I hope definitely they will be clear to you. Okay, so we can move on to the next. Okay, so these are the steps written in the language. Okay, so here you need to remember that the time taken between the formation of type B spermatogonium and its differentiation into the daughter cell, it is about 64 days, and the rate of the spermatogenesis, that means that the speed of the spermatogenesis is constant and it will be not accelerated by any hormone, not by any type of the gonadotroph, and not any androgen can accelerate its formation. Okay, so this is a diagram which is, I think, one of the beautiful diagrams. So it is showing what? It is showing a seminal vesicle, and seminal vesicle, it is showing not seminal vesicle, it is showing the seminiferous tubule. Okay, so this is the basal lamina of the seminiferous tubule, and from the basal lamina we are moving towards the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. So if you can see, if I draw here, this is suppose one seminiferous tubule. So this is the lumen. So this diagram is showing from the basal lamina. This is the basal lamina, from basal lamina to the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. So it is trying to showing what? It is trying to showing that the immature spermatocytes, or you can say the spermatogonium, they are present at the basal part. Okay, that is, they are present at the periphery of the seminiferous tubule, whereas the matured spermatocytes, okay, or you can say the spermatozoa, they are present at the lumen, or you can say closer to the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. Okay, so what happens? You can say that this is a spermatogonium. Now the spermatogonium will form the primary spermatocyte, then secondary spermatocytes, then they form the early spermatid, and spermatid will gonna form a spermatozoa, which is the matured spermatocytes, okay, located near the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. Okay, so here you can say this green is what, these green are basically the Sertoli cells. The Sertoli cells, they are coming from the from the basal lamina till the lumen of the seminiferous tubule, and these are the tight junctions which are present between the adjacent Sertoli cells. So Sertoli, you can see that each and every type of the spermatocytes, spermatogonium, they are surrounded by the Sertoli cells, because Sertoli cells have the function of nourishment. Okay, so they are nourishing the spermatocytes, spermatogonium. Apart from this, there are other functions also of the Sertoli cells which is beyond the scope of this video. And what is happening is that if you can see that early on, these all are surrounded by the Sertoli cells, but once they get matured, that is when there is an early spermatid and then there is a late spermatozoa. Okay, so what is happening is that they will get transformed. Okay, and once they get transformed, they will be released from the Sertoli cells. So this process is called as a spermiation. Spermiation is basically the release of the spermatozoa from the Sertoli cell. So first you have a type B spermatogonium, then you have primary spermatocytes, secondary spermatocytes, spermatids. All these are surrounded by the Sertoli cells. Then there is a process which is called as a spermiogenesis, during which the spermatids get converted into the spermatozoa. Okay, the spermatids, they are not completely covered by the Sertoli cell but partially, and when there is formation of the spermatozoa will be get completely released from the Sertoli cell, and this is called as a spermiation. So here we are referring four terminologies: spermatogenesis, spermatocytogenesis, spermiogenesis, and spermiation. Okay. Now the last is the difference which is between the spermatogenesis and the oogenesis. So if you have seen the video on the oogenesis, we have part 1 and part 2 video on the oogenesis and follicular development. So if you have seen that, then you can easily say that what are the differences. So differences are as that the mitotic division of the germ cell, they start after the puberty, after attaining the puberty in the case of spermatogenesis, but in the oogenesis, the mitotic division, it has been started much before the birth, that is during the fetal time. One spermatogonia will going to form 4 spermatids, when only one oocyte will be formed out of the one oogonia. Second mitotic division will be get completed to form the spermatids, and after formation of spermatids will get matured to form the spermatozoa, and even after that spermatozoa get formed, it will be get further sperm maturation, so that there could be increase in the fertilizing capacity, there could be increase in the motility of the sperm. Okay, then even after that, when it reaches the female genital tract, there will be another process called as a capacitation. So there is so much modification in the sperm cell after the division gets completed, after the second mitotic division gets completed. But here in the oogenesis, what happens? The second mitotic division just complete on the fertilization. Okay, it completes on the fertilization, and thereby there is no further differentiation. So these are the 3 most important differences between the spermatogenesis and the oogenesis. This could be asked to you in the Viva, and these are the most known things. Okay, so with this, we are at the end of this video. If you like this video, please like, share and comment, and do let me your suggestions for the upcoming video, and don't forget to see our slides on the SlideShare as well. Subscribe our channel, and till then, keep safe and keep learning.